The upcoming Valley Line expansion for the LRT is a P3, a public-private partnership. That's what it's classified as. Without too much generalization, I might describe it as the city contracting this out to private companies to handle. To the candidates, are you for or against P3s? Do you believe they're in the interest of the city and by extension the taxpayers? Why or why not?
I personally am not in favor of P3s. I have done some research and also, as the past president of the Labour Council, had commissioned Parkland Institute to work on a project with us on the creation of the P3 for the LRT, the current LRT in Edmonton. And even after that report was done by Parkland Institute, there was no proof out there that it was better for the city to contract it out. It was better for us to keep it in-house and serviced by our technicians and controlled by our city transportation. But you're not seeing that now. With this current P3, they are contracting out everything, including the servicing and maintenance.
But when it comes to things like smaller projects, like, well, not smaller projects, but things like handmade and things like that, we use the P3 model and it works fantastically. We're using a P3 model for the Valley Line, and you know what, when it comes to our public transit system, obviously Edmonton doesn't have the money to even think of funding this, so we need to move into a P3 model. When it comes to public transit though, it's a little bit iffy, in my opinion, because right now the businesses are going to reap the rewards of our public transit system, and who knows, it might be a hit. But it also gets them invested in building their routes right. I mean, if the city was going to build it by itself, we wouldn't be able to take it underground in certain areas, and we'd be cutting off certain intersections as well. So the P3 for the Valley Line, I think it's a good idea, and I think it's going to get the transit built. And people want transit. I mean, studies have shown that here in Millwoods, in the Millwoods area, the Valley Line needs to be built. It needs to be built quick.
Thank you for your question. I'll be real brief here too. So P3s are one aspect of fund projects, right? But they're very heavily dependent on a number of different conditions. So not every project should be funded by a P3. At the same time, however, the last variation of our federal government was more mindful of funding P3 projects. So the city, for example, needing to build a service for the citizens, if that was the one way to get funding, if that was the way that they would be able to go through with it with the P3. They do provide innovation, so I do like that aspect of it by allowing the private industry to provide innovation in design. However, as was mentioned earlier, a big concern though is at the other end of the project. So once it's built, if management and maintenance of it goes towards the private vendors, that's where you lose out on the efficiency. Because now you add another layer of bureaucracy to get some of the work done.
But for future projects, I would like to, sometimes it makes sense to use a P3 model and sometimes it doesn't. I think that when we're looking for funding for projects, we should know what kind of funding model do we use. Do we try to borrow it? Do we cut expenses from something else or reallocate funds somewhere, or do we use a P3?
It can be very tricky, and if we are going to do P3s, I would be in agreement if the city was being monitored, because I have seen my personal experience while working for Councillor Hayter, that companies bid low on a job and then they get it. And then they are over budget and the city has to pay the shortfall. I am not in agreement for that. They should be held to whatever they bid on a job so that the best contractor gets the job.
I don't think any private company, if you gave them the option to plan the entire system, would have built the entire Valley Line on the surface. I don't think anyone would have done that. It's just stupidity. So when you're doing a P3, everything has to be entrusted to the company that you're going to do the job in, and that's how a P3 should work.
That said, I asked Millwoods residents what they say about it, and people in the rest of Ward 12, and every single one of them, whether they're a driver or a rider, says it has to be built now. No exceptions. We can't wait another 20 years and let Mother Nature pay the consequences. But I hate to use the word special, but an interest group asked me to include a question in what I asked people. said 5 times whether to change the route through the valley, and nobody agreed with me.
P3 projects are divided into 5 different phases. First is design, the construction, the operation, finance, and the maintenance. I am totally fine if it's a P3 for construction or the design, but I am absolutely not in favor of operation goes to a private company, especially comes to an LRT line. This is city workers who's supposed to be operating the train, but that's not how it went. I am not in favor of P3 project.
P3, public-private partnership. It is good program where the taxpayer doesn't have to pay on upfront. It is cost-effective way. About LRT, LRT project, as far as I understanding, funding and right-of-way has been done. We can't do anything. So they will be giving out the contract very soon. As a councillor, I want to make sure that this project goes on without any delay. I would like that this project is delivered on time and cost-effective manner. We have to learn from our mistake. I believe it's not a mistake if you learn from it. And we had so many issues with LRT in the city. We have to make sure that this project up to Melbourne town center goes smoothly, and then we have to make sure that it does not end over there. It goes all the way to the meadows.
If I had a carpenter building my house, I would say to the carpenter, no saws, please. You can't use saws when you're building my house. Similarly, if I saw the carpenter trying to pound a nail with a saw because I told him he couldn't have a hammer, it would be similarly ridiculous. Use the proper tools for the job. If a P3 is the popular tool for the job, then I'm in favor of it.
P3 is applicable on case-to-case basis, and as far as LRT goes, $700 million are down the drain. It is delayed for 2 years, and LRT per kilometer is the costliest line in the world. So looking into present scenario, if you want to have valley line, I support P3.
I'm against private-public partnerships because a lot of times in the past and what people have seen, the private enterprise leaves, like say during hard economic times like right now. And we need to look to the federal government and our Alberta government to get behind us to complete this infrastructure right now. Because this is the time to build and to employ people. Also too, I kind of went on an archaeological discovery looking at the lay of the land. It would be easy to run lines above ground and out of traffic, coming all the way from Southgate, down Whiteman Freeway, down 91st.
They function as a tool for building and financing big infrastructure projects. The previous federal government enforced it on every project. The current government is sending signals that it will be enforcing it on every project. It depends on the project. It's a tool in the toolkit. The Henday and the Stony Trail in Calgary were built as P3s. We have had them built on time and on budget. The maintenance and repair is taken care of by the contractor. The public school build that the province is undertaking is a P3 fail, so it's far too large. You can't have ideologically motivated or populist-based positions on how to build infrastructure. You need to base it on sound fiscal principles and use the correct tools for the right job.
P3 actually from southeast LRT to Lewis Falls, it has to be built, but for 18 months it's already they debated. They already chose a company that is already in place. So I think we can't do enough now to stop it, but the thing is, we had learned from the previous projects, like especially the schools were built through P3, and we know we didn't learn the lesson from those, and also so many projects were delayed. So personally, I'm not for the P3, but project-based, as they chose this because of lack of funding and other restrictions, at least if there are delays, they can transfer the cost to the contractors. Because this time, city, I think, chose the best contractors in the world, like including Bombardier and other companies. Like there's 7 companies group there.